Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel this evening, guys, with a Barça news roundup coming your way. We are going to be talking about the continuation of Xavi's pre-season, a few players that I do want to discuss there. We're also going to be talking about another presentation today. Andreas Christensen is indeed unveiled as a Barça player. We're also going to be talking quite a bit about Chelsea in today's video, as their owner arrives in Barcelona for talks with the club. We're going to be discussing Cesar Azpilicueta, Frenkie de Jong, and also as well Raphinha, plus two more confirmed exits from Barca. It is all coming your way. So let's get to it. Come on. Because indeed, guys, training at Barca is very much continuing, and the double sessions, they're not going anywhere either. Xavi is putting every player through their paces, and I do want to talk a little bit about Alex Collado, because in yesterday's video, a lot of people were saying, you know what, what's happening with him? We can see him in pre-season with the team there under Xavi, but is he going to be playing any part next season? And of course, don't forget, guys, this is a player right here that when Xavi first arrived as the Barcelona coach, he was actually really happy with what Collado was showing. He would have been really happy to have him in his team, but of course that bureaucratic issue prevented Collado from playing, and as such he had to go out on loan to play. He went to Granada for the rest of the season, but even back in January, Xavi did say, we just wanted him to play. We sent him out on loan to get some football. He said he does have a lot of talent. It's really unfortunate that we were unable to register him, and Xavi has always said, the goal for Collado, it's always been to return with us in June and give him an opportunity in the team. He's 23 years old now, and this feels to me like now or never. This summer is a massive opportunity for him. He's training now, he's going to have opportunities in these pre-season matches, and he's got to take that chance, because you do feel as there's going to be plenty of competition next season in those wider areas, and it will be interesting to see what Collado can do. There was also, though, a brand new face in those training sessions, because now our brand new signing, Franck Kessie, presented at the Camp Nou on Wednesday. He has now been training with the rest of his new teammates. He was welcomed there in the traditional Barca way, and I'm really excited, like I said yesterday, to see what he can do. And he seems thrilled to be here at Barca, enjoying every single moment of it, and I saw him embrace yesterday with Xavi. Xavi delighted to have him in his team for next season, and that brings us on, of course, to not only Franck Kessie this summer, but our other free signing as well, coming in from Chelsea, Andreas Christensen. He has been presented now at the Camp Nou today. It was great to see him there unveiled too. He looked really excited about the challenges that do await him at the club, and certainly it's been his dream to be here, and he did not hide that today, kissing the Barcelona badge. That's not something that you always see new players do, but of course everybody often says, you know, I've dreamt of playing here. This was always my aim, my ambition since I was a child. Many players have said that, but you know what? Andreas Christensen, he had the receipts, because he actually came out here with this handwritten note that he wrote at 8 years old, back in 2004, and it reads as follows: I dream about being a professional footballer and playing for FC Barcelona. Now, he's realising that dream. His moment has arrived. And I'm really excited to see, really intrigued to see how he's going to do in the centre of our defence. Moving on, though, to talk about some transfer activity. What I want to say, first of all, on Raphinha, because it has been a bit of a quiet few days on Raphinha. Of course, we had that full-on explosion, didn't we, when the news first emerged about him and Barca coming in and effectively hijacking the deal from Chelsea, and it is still very much on track, especially when you listen to the Catalan media. They are incredibly confident right now that Barca are going to get their man, that they are going to wrap up this deal for Raphinha in the coming days. Apparently, the deal now in the very final stages, and Raphinha and Deco right now, apparently, they are simply waiting to one side, waiting for that official confirmation that he is also going to achieve his dream and join up with Barca. That will be absolutely fantastic if, and hopefully when, that is going to happen. Which brings us very nicely on to talk now about Chelsea, because obviously this summer, Barca and Chelsea's transfer business has appeared to be very closely linked in many different ways. I think we're becoming a bit of a pain for Chelsea. But this evening, their owners and key members of their board actually arrived into the airport in Barcelona there. That news being broke by Gerard Romero. Of course, he's on the forefront, he's on the front line, watching who's arriving at all hours of the day. today, and Chelsea there arriving for a meeting with the Barcelona board. Now, the first player, of course, who that may indeed relate to is Cesar Azpilicueta. Plenty of rumours throughout today that actually seem to imply this move could be accelerating again. Barca, of course, originally wanted to bring him in on a free transfer this summer, like they've done with Christensen, like they've done with Kessie, but that will not be possible. We've known that now for quite some time, but now it is being reported maybe Chelsea could be open to selling him for a very small transfer fee. €3 million right now is the fee being reported in the Catalan media. This is somebody here who turns 33 years old at the end of August. So obviously they're somebody who's getting on in his career, but Xavi, I think, welcomes his experience, his leadership in that backline, something that Barca have lacked. But of course, it is still a deal that will divide some opinion. And Fabrizio Romano right now says that Barca want to try and wrap up this deal as soon as possible, hence why tonight he may indeed be discussed in that meeting, because in terms of the personal terms and agreeing a contract with Azpilicueta, it would be a 2-year deal with the option of a third. That has all been agreed now for quite some time. That wouldn't be any problem at all. It'd be very, very manageable wages we would sign Azpilicueta on, but it's just now whether we can agree that deal with Chelsea. There is also the matter of Marcos Alonso. Barca do seem quite persistent on this one. I've said before, I don't really understand the deal. I don't really get behind the deal at this stage, and obviously there's still nothing to say this one will happen. Chelsea seem to be set on asking for more money for Alonso than they are for Azpilicueta, and Barca really don't want to pay very much. They are very, very intent here. This would only be a low-cost option, and that's probably one of the driving reasons behind going for Alonso in the first place. So if Chelsea do demand too much money, then Barca may be priced out of that deal. But we're going to have to wait and see if that's one of the names that's being discussed. But what I really want to talk about is Frenkie de Jong, because again, there's another big twist. There always seems to be twists and turns with this Frenkie deal, because multiple Catalan sources now say that Chelsea, they've joined the race. They are in the running and seriously interested in signing Frenkie de Jong this summer. And that is why this evening, that is another potentially huge talking point between the two clubs. And it is interesting because just a few days ago, when Laporta said, actually, he openly said, Man United are not the only team interested in de Jong. They're not the only team here competing for him. Many Man United fans there said, that's a lie. That's not true. We're the only club interested. Laporta is lying. But now, looks like he's right. And it turns out, who knew that Laporta was more informed than Man United fans? And it could get worse for United too, because it's also now being said, and I think, to be honest, I could actually believe this, that Frenkie would be more inclined, more attracted to a move to Chelsea than he would be to Manchester United. And of course that checks out, guys, because all of the top players, all of the players at the very highest level, what they want to do is play Champions League football. Chelsea can bring that to the table there with Frenkie de Jong. Manchester United cannot, and for that reason, he may be more open in heading to London. And I just look at this Frenkie de Jong deal right now, especially the way that it's developing, it seems to be really heading in Barca's favour again. Because you look at it right now in terms of having two, and that is huge. Not just one big, wealthy Premier League club interested, but two of them together for the same player, who could maybe rival each other for the signature, who could go toe-to-toe in a bidding war. That would be Barca's dream when it comes to de Jong, having those two clubs with real interest in the player. But I do have to say, guys, when it comes to Chelsea, we don't really want a sort of player plus cash deal. We don't really want to have Alonso, Azpilicueta and some cash for de Jong. Barca want all of those operations to be separate, because what they want in this de Jong deal, of course, it's about wages. We've spoken a lot about that, but effectively it's about getting the absolute maximum money possible, the biggest transfer fee that they possibly can. And it is reported that Chelsea would love this summer to reunite Matthijs de Ligt and also Frenkie de Jong in the same team again. Their move for de Ligt, it has to be said, it's not going well. It's not really been easy going for them this summer. Bayern are providing serious competition for de Ligt right now. And that is also something there to keep in mind, to keep a very close eye on, given the fact that Chelsea withdrew themselves from the running for Jules Koundé to focus on other targets. and it remains to be seen now whether they can get those wrapped up. But I also do just want to confirm 2 exits from the club, 2 more exits that are going to happen very, very imminently, because long late to Tottenham. That is one that we've spoken a lot about recently. Fabrizio Romano today gave his seal of approval to this move happening. He gave it the here we go, with Longley moving to Tottenham on that loan deal. Fabrizio says that as of right now, there is no option to buy in that deal. There will be a loan fee. That'll be something really positive for Barca. They're getting a little bit of money to make this loan happen. Tottenham will pay part of Clement Longley's wage. We spoke about that on MORETALKFCB. The massive, massive salary that Longley commands. And what this essentially means right now is that one centre-back is going out, one is coming in. We've effectively replaced for the coming season Longley with Andreas Christensen, and for me, that equates to very, very shrewd business. And the other exit there, also confirmed today by Fabrizio Romano, it is going to be the departure of Raphinha, the 25-year-old Barcelona B forward who actually spent last season on loan at Spezia. They chose not to activate their 2.7 million buy option at the end of that loan, and it was confirmed today by Fabrizio that Raphinha will be heading to the English Championship next season to play with Watford on a 3-year deal. And it is said at this stage that there won't be a transfer fee involved in this. He's only got 1 year left on his deal. Barca are willing to let him walk away effectively for nothing, but we will hold on to a percentage of any future sale, as that is something that Barca have negotiated into that deal. So Longley on his way out on loan, and Raphinha set to leave the club permanently. So that there, guys, is the daily roundup when it comes to what has been happening at Barca today. There is plenty going on right now, plenty of work being done in the background at Barca, lots of deals that we're working on, trying to get over the line, and of course managing all of the financial side at the same time. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the arrival and the presentation there of Andreas Christensen, on the future of Collado, and whether you believe he could stamp his authority on this team in the coming season. There's Raphinha and all of the Chelsea-related activity. What do you make of the latest on Frenkie de Jong? Thank you as always, guys, for tuning in, for watching, and for all of your support. I will be back soon with all of the latest news. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça!